Imagine sitting down at a beautiful wooden table in a quiet Japanese restaurant. The tea is steaming, the miso soup smells rich and comforting, and the sushi looks like tiny works of art. Then, just as you reach for your chopsticks, someone gasps. You've done something wrong. No one scolds you, no one raises their voice, but the silence says everything. Because in Japan, dining isn't just about food. It's about respect. It's about harmony, mindfulness, and knowing how to move through a meal without disturbing its rhythm. Every gesture, from how you hold your chopsticks to how you pour your drink, has meaning. And while most visitors are forgiven for small mistakes, understanding the unspoken rules of dining in Japan is a sign of genuine respect for the culture. So today, let's explore the 10 unspoken rules of Japanese dining you should never break and the fascinating stories behind them. Now, let's get started. Rule 1. Never stick your chopsticks upright in rice. It's one of the easiest mistakes for travelers to make, and one of the hardest for Japanese diners to ignore. Imagine this. You've just been served a steaming bowl of rice. You're chatting, distracted, and casually plant your chopsticks upright into the bowl before reaching for your drink. Suddenly, the table goes silent. The waiter hesitates. You've broken one of Japan's most sacred dining taboos. Why is this gesture so serious? Because in Japan, the image of chopsticks standing upright in rice isn't just impolite, it's spiritually unsettling. It mirrors a ritual performed only at funerals, where a bowl of rice with upright chopsticks is placed near the deceased as an offering. It symbolizes the connection between the living and the spirits of the departed. So when it happens at a dinner table, even unintentionally, it's like bringing the shadow of death into a moment meant for life. But beneath this rule lies something deeper: Japan's profound sense of symbolism and awareness. The Japanese believe that meals are moments of harmony, where body, mind, and gratitude meet. Every act at the table, from bowing slightly before eating to how you place your utensils, expresses your attitude toward life itself. And because eating is sacred, gestures that carry negative meanings, even visually, are avoided with great care. So, what should you do instead? When you're not using your chopsticks, never leave them standing or crossed. Instead, lay them gently across your bowl, or rest them neatly on a chopstick holder called a hashioki. If you don't have one, fold a small piece of your napkin into a triangle and use it as a temporary rest. These small gestures show consideration not only for tradition but also for those who share the table with you. In Japan, etiquette is never about perfection. It's about mindfulness. It's about taking small actions that keep the environment calm, respectful, and balanced. When you avoid placing your chopsticks upright in rice, you're not just following a rule, you're honoring thousands of years of history, belief, and beauty hidden within the ordinary act of eating. Rule 2. Don't pass food chopstick to chopstick. Picture this. You're dining with friends in Tokyo. The table is filled with beautifully arranged dishes: grilled fish, tempura, rice, and miso soup. You want to share a piece of that crispy tempura with someone across the table, so you lift it with your chopsticks and pass it directly to their chopsticks. It feels friendly, until you notice the quiet shift in expression. You've just made another major faux pas. In Japan, this act is called hashi-watashi, or passing from chopstick to chopstick. To most Japanese people, it immediately recalls one of the most solemn moments of life, the funeral ritual known as kotsuage. During this ceremony, family members use chopsticks to carefully pass the bones of the deceased from person to person after cremation. Because of this sacred association, doing something similar at the dinner table feels deeply inappropriate, even if your intentions are kind. To avoid this, there's a graceful alternative. If you want to share food, simply pick up a piece with your chopsticks and place it on a small plate or saucer for the other person to take. If you're dining in a traditional setting, you might also notice that serving utensils or special community chopsticks are provided for shared dishes. Always use those instead of your personal pair. This rule reflects one of Japan's most beautiful cultural values: awareness of connection. Every gesture in Japanese dining has meaning, and every mistake, even small, breaks the invisible harmony that ties everyone at the table together. By avoiding hashi-watashi, you show an understanding that eating together isn't just about sharing food, it's about sharing space, energy, and respect. It's also a reminder of how seriously Japan treats symbolism. The Japanese dining table is a stage where behavior becomes an expression of thoughtfulness. There's an unspoken agreement. Meals should feel calm, respectful, and alive with gratitude. That's why certain gestures that remind people of death or mourning are kept strictly apart from the world of food and celebration. So the next time you dine in Japan and want to share something, pause for a moment. Instead of passing it directly, place it gently onto your friend's plate. That small act says, "I care enough to do this the right way." Because in Japan, good manners aren't about rules, they're about empathy. And empathy, as the Japanese quietly show us, is the most beautiful form of respect there is. Rule 3. Don't pour your own drink. In Japan, meals are about connection, not just consumption. So when it comes to drinks, especially sake, there's an unspoken rule. You don't pour for yourself. Instead, you pour for others, and they pour for you. It's a small act of generosity that keeps the circle of kindness alive. At business dinners, this ritual becomes a subtle dance of respect. Juniors pour for seniors, friends pour for each other, and everyone takes turns ensuring no one's glass stays empty. When someone pours for you, it's polite to lift your cup slightly in both hands and take a small sip before setting it down. It's a quiet way of saying, "Thank you, I see you." In a world where people often rush through meals, Japan reminds us that dining can be an act of appreciation. Rule 4. Don't mix wasabi into your soy sauce. If you're eating sushi in Japan, this one's important. Many visitors instinctively stir wasabi into soy sauce, but to Japanese eyes, that's a bit like pouring ketchup on fine art. Wasabi and soy sauce are meant to be used separately, each with purpose. A sushi chef already adds just the right amount of wasabi inside the piece, balancing flavor perfectly. When you dunk it into a soy sauce pool mixed with wasabi, you wash away the craftsmanship. Instead, lightly dip the fish side, not the rice side, into soy sauce. That way, the rice doesn't fall apart, and you taste the sushi as the chef intended. It's not about strictness, it's about respect for the skill, precision, and care that go into every dish. Rule 5. Never play with your chopsticks. In Japan, chopsticks are not toys, and meals are not for show. Tapping them, pointing with them, or waving them in the air is seen as childish or disrespectful. Chopsticks are considered an extension of yourself, tools of care and mindfulness. Even the way you hold them shows how you approach life. There's a quiet beauty in watching someone use chopsticks, gracefully lifting food gently, eating without sound, and setting them down carefully. It's like poetry in motion. So, when dining in Japan, remember, your chopsticks speak before you do. Let them speak kindly. Rule 6. Don't start eating before everyone is served. Japanese dining is communal, not competitive. Meals are meant to be shared experiences, and that begins with waiting. Even if your dish arrives first, it's considered polite to wait until everyone has their food before starting. Once everyone is ready, someone will say "itadakimasu," meaning, "I humbly receive." It's not just a way to say, "Let's eat." It's a small prayer of gratitude to the farmers, the cook, and the life that became the meal. At the end of the meal, people say "Gochisu-sama deshita." Thank you for the feast. These words frame the meal as a moment of grace, not routine. In Japan, dining is never rushed. Every meal, even a simple one, is a chance to pause and say, "Thank you." Rule 7. Slurping noodles is perfectly polite. This one always surprises foreigners, but in Japan, slurping noodles loudly isn't rude. In fact, it's encouraged. Why? Because slurping isn't just about eating, it's about enjoying. When you slurp soba or ramen, you cool the noodles and enhance their flavor. The sound shows appreciation to the chef, a sign that the meal is delicious. For Japanese people, eating in silence can actually seem strange when it comes to noodles. The soft, rhythmic sound of slurping fills the air like music, the sound of contentment. So yes, when in Japan, you can slurp your noodles proudly. But here's the secret. When you're done, always finish your bowl. Leaving too much behind can seem ungrateful, the opposite of what that joyful slurp was meant to say. Rule 8. Don't waste food, especially rice. To waste food in Japan is to waste gratitude. And rice especially carries deep meaning. It's seen as sacred, a gift from the earth and from generations of farmers. You'll notice that Japanese portions are often modest. That's intentional. People take only what they can finish, showing respect through restraint. Older generations often remind children, every grain of rice has a soul. So when dining in Japan, it's polite to finish what's on your plate, or at least as much as possible. Leaving food behind, especially rice, feels like turning away from the care that went into making it. This quiet appreciation for food is one of the most beautiful aspects of Japanese culture. It transforms eating from consumption into gratitude. Rule 9. The oldest or most senior person eats first. Hierarchy in Japan is subtle but ever present, even at the dinner table. If you're dining with elders or superiors, it's respectful to wait until they begin eating before you do. This rule, rooted in centuries of Confucian values, is about more than age. It's about humility. By letting someone senior take the first bite, you're acknowledging their life experience and wisdom. It's a silent way of saying, I respect you, and I honor your place in this moment. In return, elders often encourage everyone to eat freely, creating a warm, balanced atmosphere. Respect flows both ways, quietly, naturally, and without the need for words. Rule 10. Always express gratitude. If there's one rule that captures the heart of Japanese dining, it's this: always give thanks. Before eating, itadakimasu. After eating, gochi susama deshita. These simple words hold centuries of wisdom. They acknowledge the people who prepared the food, the farmers who grew it, the animals or plants that gave their lives for it, and the company of those who share it with you. In Japan, eating is never just about taste. It's about mindfulness, about realizing that every bite connects you to countless unseen hands and hearts. A meal without gratitude feels incomplete, like a story without an ending. In conclusion, dining in Japan isn't about memorizing rules. It's about feeling the rhythm of respect that runs through every meal. It's about eating with intention, moving with care, and appreciating not just the food, but the moment. Because in Japan, the table isn't just a place to eat. It's a stage for kindness, gratitude, and harmony. And perhaps that's why, even in the humblest noodle shop or the finest sushi bar, every meal feels like a quiet ceremony, a chance to slow down and reconnect with life's simplest, most beautiful truths. Now here's a question for you. Which of these dining rules surprised you the most or made you see Japanese culture differently? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you'd love to uncover more of Japan's hidden traditions and fascinating customs, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications. Because here, we don't just explore Japan, we experience its heart, one story at a time. Thanks for watching.